My name's Leslie, if we haven't met. And I have a lot of things I want to share. I am working on writing a book right now. I'm pretty excited about that. I get these little blocks of thought I don't have a better description. And I've been getting them enough lately, and they've been right enough in the past that I was sorry I hadn't said anything sooner. I just thought, well, it wasn't something I was going to utilize or implement, and can't really make money off of it myself. So, marketing. This is what you need to do. Whatever your marketing business is, whether your focus is digital, websites, social media, actual signage in your buildings, on your buildings, in your cars, on your windows, whatever you do for advertising and marketing. And then there is another component that has to do with like aesthetics and decor. So of course, if you're solely an online, solely a digital, there's still a piece of this that ties into it. But I just want to draw attention to that, because there is an element that I think if people don't jump on the bandwagon early, they're really going to miss it. They're going to miss the opportunity that's there, because the people that needed it when they needed it will have already established relationships with businesses for too long. They're going to already be used to, this is just where they go, this is just what they love, and the people that think it's nuts, they're going to be in the back of the line and then hurrying to try to catch up and understand the research. So this is what it is. We are all energy. We all speak energy. We just don't like to talk about it. It makes us uncomfortable because we can't see it. And if it comes to stuff that we can't see, we want to put it into two groups. We want to put it into religion or woo-woo of some kind. And I'm not going to get into church, religion, belief, stuff like that. I've got my own story. Everybody has their own story. What has kind of held my belief systems together that were good for me, I've let a lot of belief systems go, but the ones that I've hung on to that were really good for me are just some of those underlying principles that overlap. Where do science and spirituality agree in the areas that don't make sense to us because we can't see them? And those are the ones that I'm going, all right, now we've got enough. We've got enough data, we've got enough research, we have enough time that's gone by for us to make some educated decisions that'll work for the most part. So we all speak energy. We're affected by energy. We know that. We can see electrical currents on a heart monitor. We can see electrical brainwaves on a scan, and more recent development of technologies allows us to see what people's energy body looks like, what their kind of aura, or whatever the energies that we're omitting that are coming off of us can be seen and detected. And in some cases, I think they can be measured as far as like 8 feet out, and they would go farther, but that's like as far as they can detect it. And my justification for that, when we can't see and people think I'm going to be talking weird about something, is like, we talk about, oh, that made me feel yucky. That didn't feel right to me. Something seems off. That smells fishy. We all have kind of these words that we use that indicate that we're using our senses and our nervous system, our brain, our emotion. All of that stuff is taking in information constantly. The fastest, most amazing computer. It's not only a great computer that, it'll take care of us as long as it can take care of us, but it's intuitive. So it also knows like what we can handle and what we can't, and has some really neat built-in mechanisms that if we understand them, we can use them. And those systems of energy communication are how we sense that somebody's in an off mood, or that energy body is what's something is wrong, we feel something is off, we have this feeling we need to call somebody or go somewhere or not do something, or all of those things. If you approach strangers and talk to them for a minute, and you'll have this sense about excuse me, You'll have a sense about who they are. You'll have a sense about, you don't know everything, but you'll have a sense because your energy body is exchanging information with them all the time, and not in a scary way or demonic way. It's just like the Wi-Fi signals going back and forth and sharing information, and we kind of tune in to what we want and tune in to, what we don't, but we're all affected by it. And we all clearly speak it. We just don't like to talk about it because we can't touch feeling. We can't touch emotion that way. So if you can't stand on it that way, we don't want to give it as much credit. That's changing. So where that's changing with science is showing us that there are colors that really do affect the mood. The colors have a vibration that lines up with the hertz of music. And, interesting how every note, every sound has its own note, and every note, has its own frequency. We have our own frequency that I think is similar to our DNA. It's a sound that our energy produces that if you speed it up enough that we could hear it, that's like no one else's. So getting back to how does this play into marketing? Well, how this plays into marketing is we're moving into a time that is going to be more energetically connected, more aware of how that stuff works, as well as moving into a time where the human body is absolutely at its maximum with what it can tolerate or process with, not just toxins and things in our environment. Like, those aren't good for us. Our bodies are starting to show signs that this stuff is building up and we need to make some changes. But it's more about the energy that is produced that gives us similar experiences. Let me say it that way. What we know from science is that the note C has a frequency, period. It doesn't change. That's its frequency, and the color, purple is a frequency. It has its frequency, period. That doesn't change. Purple is that frequency. That's not changing. When we get into music, it gets a little wonky because human beings decided to tune the note A to 440 instead of 442. You can study that if you're more interested, but we are a little bit out of tune with our own universe, which it's a whole nother video for me. I think it messes with our sense of well-being because there's dissonance that we don't maybe really hear, but it's there. So anyways, the point being that when they look at those relationships between the colors and the energy body and sound, and then you move into what we know about matter and how it's affected by thought and intentions. But he did pretty extensive research on water and the impact of thought, word, and intent on water. So that's what, we couldn't understand it with our mind, and so we just went, no, that's dumb. But now we've got science that's actually able to take pictures of cells, water cells, and show us with our eyes that love frequency looks different than hate frequency, and no frequency of being ignored still has the absence of the energies has an effect on the cells. And it's really mind-blowing. And it isn't woo-woo. If you really, it's been studied, it's there. The problem is we have all of this knowledge available to us and we're not using it. We're not using it. It's like if you're in this movement or you think it's cool or it's a fad, then people are jumping on and we're labeling it, weird and woo-woo. And all I'm suggesting is that we go, this is science now. It's not woo-woo. We're talking about what we've learned, and we have evidence that our eyes can see that shows that what we say affects our world. And to the point that it changes the cellular structure of water, what it looks like. And we're 70% water. So again, that stuff is not changing, and we all know it. We say this color makes us feel happy, this one makes us feel sad. Art intuitively knows to associate certain colors with certain emotions because they convey a message. I think it is as subtle as you have a marketing strategy and a color theme that doesn't match the energy that our bodies are emoting. So if I'm looking for a mechanic's shop, let's say I'm looking for a tool, I'm going to go buy tools, and their advertising is predominantly more, anybody can argue this, I can be wrong about this. I'm just trying to grab some quick analogies is that, green is associated with the heart and with that emotion center in the body. We get into orange is more associated with creativity and sexuality and passion. And so if you do your man shop advertising and your color scheme is orange and green, it might look freaking cool. It might have the coolest race cars and everything. It's orange and green and orange and green. And it happens so fast that the human energy body, nervous system is going to be scrolling along, and they click on it, and there's just this nanosecond where they go, because it doesn't match. It's like we know something's out of tune, we know something isn't in sync, and we don't really know why, and it happens so fast we don't even question it. We just move to the next one. It could be that there's music playing in the background of your store, and it's really wonderful music, but it has an energy that's all over the place, or it has an energy that only caters to one type of emotion, and it might be contradictory to the energy that you're trying to set with the business itself. Kind of like the theory of don't put, screaming rock music in a doctor's office lobby. Like it doesn't feel right. Why is that? Why does that not? How do we know that? How do we know that doesn't go together? That's you go do the work. I don't want to. I've seen enough. I get it. I feel it. I've known it already. All I'm trying to get out there, because I'm not going to benefit from this that I can see, is that if you're struggling in your business, you need to look at audio frequency matching visual frequency. Is it the same message, or is it a combined sense of energies that are cohesive, that the brain and the body aren't going to go, that's flat, that's sharp, that's that's not what you're saying it is, because we all speak this language. You want it to be cohesive. So if they go with a heart need and they need something that's going to inspire their creativity and it's going to help them feel confident, you want to have yellow and green and red. And it's going to resonate with that person who's seeking artistic support. And it's not an exact, we are humans and we do have preferences. But those fundamental things of me saying, I'm fine, I'm fine, there's duality there. The message that your body is giving and the message that your mouth is saying are not in alignment. And we don't take the time always to investigate, because it's not necessary to know, are you or are you not really, really fine in this moment? But it's those nuances that we miss. And it's helpful to slow down enough to get tapped into those nuances in our own lives. But this is about a future freebie in marketing and sales, that you need to take a look at somatics and chromatics. You need to take a look at their impact on the human body and their emotions, and you need to get them in alignment with your message. Part 1. Good luck with all of that. If you have questions, you know how to find me. Thank you.